Mr. Speaker, let me begin by extending my heartfelt gratitude to the people of Micoud North for entrusting me with this unique and sensitive responsibility of representing them in this honorable House. For the past 4 years, I have had the honor and I have had the privilege of serving as a parliamentary representative for this resilient and proud constituency. Mr. Speaker, it has been a journey filled with challenges, growth, and one filled with profound fulfillment. And I am truly humbled by the unwavering support and the love that I have received throughout this time. To the constituents of Micoud North, the men, the women, the children who keep chanting, Jerry, Maya, when I pass, I say thank you. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for walking with me and for reminding me every single day of the strength and spirit of our community. I remain committed to you, and I am confident, I am extremely confident, Mr. Speaker, that whenever the Prime Minister chooses to ring the bell, there will be one and only one N representing the people of Micoud North. And that N will be no other, Mr. Speaker, but your humble servant, Jeremiah Norbert. Cell N, say JN. Mr. Speaker, before I delve into the substantive matters before us today, I wish to take a moment to express my deepest condolences to the family and loved ones of the late Claude Stephen, who is being laid to rest this afternoon, and unfortunately, I am here and unable to attend his funeral. But Claude was a jovial, hard-working young man whose life was tragically cut short in a freak accident when a branch fell on him a few weeks ago. May his soul rest in perfect peace. And we had a series of these freak accidents happening within a short space of time, Mr. Speaker. And may his family find comfort in this difficult time. Now, Mr. Speaker, what we witnessed on Tuesday evening during the presentation of the budget address by the Honorable Prime Minister can only be described or dubbed as a masterclass. It was a display of vision, leadership, and unshakable commitment to the people of St. Lucia. The Prime Minister has undoubtedly stunned many. He has inspired most, and quite frankly, he has placed a spoke in the tire of the opposition. There isn't much, if anything, that the opposition can genuinely rebut. And I see the member from Chozel Saltiba shaking his head. But knowing them as we do, Mr. Speaker, I can almost predict their narrative. They will claim that this is an election budget. They will argue that some promises are unachievable. And as usual, they may even accuse this government of deception. But, Mr. Speaker, what they will never be able to do, what they will never succeed in doing, is discrediting the address or fooling the discerning people of St. Lucia. As the youngest parliamentarian in this honorable House, I stand here, and you know, Mr. Speaker, I heard the member for Babono asking whether I still have that title. At the rate that we're going, it is almost obvious that I am going to retain this title come next election. And I say that because the only new members I see coming, they will be coming on my right. And I don't know that these members are going to be any younger than I am. But as the youngest parliamentarian in this honorable House, I stand today. Yeah, when I said they're going to be on my left, I think the entire chamber is going to be cladded in one color. The ties might be like mine. I stand here, Mr. Speaker, proud to be part of Team Labour, proud to serve under the leadership of Philip Joseph Pierre. I can go anywhere in St. Lucia or the region and boldly declare my allegiance to this government and its leader. And I say that, Mr. Speaker, because there are other individuals who go around who say they are so-called potential candidates. There are other ends, and when they are asked, but why are you supporting this particular leader on the other side? They go and they say, don't worry, support me, and when I get in, I will throw him out. That's the intention. Mr. Speaker, as a young man, I heard the member for Chozel is saying that too, but I doubt that is the case, Mr. Speaker. although sometimes we see two different members when he has people on his right, is somebody else. Today he's my friend, he's smiling for me. Tomorrow I'm not sure that this will be the same. But Mr. Speaker, I can go anywhere in St. Lucia, and I can give anybody in St. Lucia or anywhere in the region 10,000 reasons why I'm proud to call Philip Joseph Pierre my leader. And I can stand by that. And I will never, ever say that support me and I will try to oust Philip J. Pierre. I'm proud to call Philip Joseph Pierre my leader. Mr. Speaker, God has truly blessed me to become a politician at a time when Philip Joseph Pierre serves as Prime Minister. I wholeheartedly embrace the philosophical underpinnings that guide this party. While I may not always agree with every decision, I will always defend this Prime Minister. You know why? Because I trust him. And I see firsthand, I see the love, the respect, and the vision that he holds for this country. And I say, again, the vision that he holds for our beloved country, St. Lucia. In the past 4 years, Mr. Speaker, I have seen in Philip J. Pierre a man who genuinely cares, a man who hurts when St. Lucian hurt, a man who is driven by one purpose, and that is the advancement of St. Lucia and St. Lucians. And this is evident in every decision, in every initiative, and in every policy which he champions. Mr. Speaker, I speak not just in support of this budget, but to also shine a light on the policies that are embedded in it, the policies that reflect the heartbeat of this administration, the empowerment of our people. I am proud, deeply proud, to be part of a government that chooses discipline over recklessness. I am proud to be part of a government that chooses vision over vanity, and a government that chooses people over politics. We are closer to the end of this term than we are to the beginning of it. And it would have been easy for the Prime Minister to chase headlines and make splashy promises. You remember, Mr. Speaker, sometime in 2021, when the then government presented their budget, and they presented to you a box with claddings and all sorts of renderings, and they said all sorts of things, made splashy announcements, because they believed that they could have fooled St. Lucians. They believed that St. Lucian was going to buy into the fancy pictures, flashing mirrors, as you call them. But you know what this Prime Minister did, or what he continues to do? In his wisdom and in his humility, he reminds us, especially myself, the member for Grosile, member for Ancillary Canneries, he reminds us, guys, I'm on my way out. All of you all know I'm on my way out. It's the old fellas I lay in the foundation for. And that is the mark of true leadership. And in this budget, we see that foundation being poured. Solid, intentional, and people-focused. Let us begin with a flagship initiative. Not Jazz of Years, we'll get there. The Youth Economy Agency, Mr. Speaker. The brainchild of the Honorable Philip J. Pierre. He promised in 2021 and it delivered in full force. And the results, they speak for themselves. St. Lucia is now experiencing the lowest youth unemployment rate in our history. That's not luck, Mr. Speaker, or as some others would call it, it did not happen fortuitously. That's belief in our young people. That is policy. That is planning. And that is the shared belief of this cabinet and this government in the young people of St. Lucia. Over 4,200 young persons have engaged with the youth economy. More than 1,100 have received grants and loans totaling to over $6.6 million. And these are not handouts. These are investments. Many of these young people would have never been able to access credit through traditional institutions. But through this initiative, dreams have turned into thriving small businesses. And as the Prime Minister said, this is not merely an economic program. It is a declaration of belief. Our young people matter. Their ideas matter. Their dreams are worth the investment. And he is right. So, Mr. Speaker, when Larry and Josie and all the others from Mikud North see me, I can look them in the eye and tell them, we didn't just give you jobs. We gave you the tools you needed to build your own. Mr. Speaker, the Prime Minister and this government believes in the ability of its young people. Unlike some other doubting Toms who think that St. Lucia should only have workers, and they have done absolutely nothing but denigrate our people, insult them, disrespect our professionals, and call us all sorts of names. They refer to us as non-entities, young mothers as breeders of criminals, Mr. Speaker, and the list goes on. And I dare say, we are not like them, and we can never be anything like them. Mr. Speaker, je vais répéter un teacher en sa créole. Gouvernement ça et puis Premier ministre Philippe J. Pierre, les noiteurs gouvernement en l'année 2021, il dit qu'il a mis un bagage qui a créé Youth Economy Agency ensemble. Et puis, responsabilité agency ça là, c'est pour une jeunesse koyoye, jeunesse qui pas kay ça à l'air de banque et puis pour yo ça point loan, pour yo ça ouvert business. Yo kay une opportunité through agency ça là, ko yo kay ça hen l'argent, yo kay ça hen training, yo kay ça hen moun pour chebe la main yo et puis marcher et puis mouche yo manière pour ouvert business, pour faire garder business yo profiter et puis pour manager business yo. Et puis depuis le gouvernement ça là ouvert agency ça là, nous ça nous cette ici c'est plus jeunesse en travail parce que nous a jamais ouais en histoire cette ici avant. À présent nous ni plus jeunesse qui travaille cette ici parce que pièce temps avant. Ça nous c'est 4200 moun jeunesse marcher aller à des agency ça là et puis aller parler by ces moun qui là. Nous ayons 1100 jeunesse yo joindre l'argent pour yo ça ouvert business yo. Et puis yo joindre l'argent qui a monté pour 6.6 millions de dollars. Ce gouvernement ça là a mis 6.6 millions de dollars à la main jeunesse. So yo ça ouvert own business yo. Yo ça commencé own business yo. Et puis Premier ministre ça l'a dit comme ça, ils savent c'est pas tout le monde qui a même chance là. C'est pas tout le monde qui a une opportunité pour ça joindre l'argent à des banques. C'est pas tout le monde qui a ça monter descendre à des credit union et puis yo a ça joindre un monde et ben yo nene pas pour ouvrir la porte ba yo pour ça commencer business yo. Et puis là nous recogniser that nous un problème là, Premier ministre mettait ba ensemble. Et ça travaille tellement bien nous dans situation que nous ni jeunesse presque dernier jeunesse cette ici à présent yo ka travail. Et puis nous a dit c'est pas en faveur nous qu'a faire ces jeunesse ça là, mais nous en situation que yo besoin et puis nous ka ba yo ça yo besoin. Et puis les moyennes jeunesse commune moi, là il plusieurs jeunesse commune moi qui a bénéficié from ces programmes ça là. Et puis les moyennes yo now, mais ça garder yo de zéro et puis dit yo that ça nous fait ba yo, c'est pas en faveur nous fait ba yo, nous fait ba yo. Ce n'est pas l'argent nous juste mettre dans main, mais nous avons opportunité pour commencer un business. Nous avons opportunité pour commencer à faire des choses, by corps et puis by famille. Mr. Speaker, this Prime Minister et puis gouvernement ça là nous catchiller la jeunesse ça pour que on affaires. Et puis c'est pour ça nous avons mettre bagaille weg by ces jeunesse ça là. And it is this same vision that extends into the MSME loan grant facility. Over 450 micro, small, and medium-sized businesses have been approved and supported with over $6.9 million. And this is more than just support. It is a signal that this administration trusts the ability of St. Lucians to compete on the global stage. When others occupy the seats of governance, they tax you even for charcoals. But we are not like them, and we will never be like them. So we are equipping you to build, to expand, and to trade. And that is what you call economic empowerment, Mr. Speaker. That is the St. Lucia Labour Party philosophy, one of bread, freedom, and justice in action. Now let's turn to land and home ownership. Mr. Speaker, this is the very foundation of wealth creation. And on page 64 of the Prime Minister's budget address, you will find our land rationalization and housing development policy. This year, legislation will be introduced to regularize long-standing settlements, and if you've occupied less than 8,000 square feet of Crown land for over 30 years, we will help you secure title to that land. Mr. Speaker, we know the power that comes with land ownership. It opens doors to mortgages, to education, to entrepreneurship, and to generational wealth. In Volet, in Mikud, we have over 80 families residing on state lands, some of them since before I was born. And this government is saying to these people, Mr. Speaker, that you deserve to own, to build, and to pass on what is rightfully yours. We are not saying to go and squat. We are not saying to just go and now occupy lands because of this pronouncement. But we are saying that we see you and we believe your contribution matters. Let us give you the dignity of ownership. Now, contrast this, Mr. Speaker, with what others did. Gave away our lands to foreigners, our state lands, for $1 an acre. They empowered outsiders. We empower St. Lucians. Mr. Speaker, by now I'm hoping that you're seeing the vision that this government have for our St. Lucian people. And you're understanding what I mean when I say that we are not like them and will never be like them. To my people in your extension, in Mikud, Mr. Speaker, I hear your concerns about the Trumasi lands. Let me say this clearly. The Prime Minister has instructed the Ministry of Housing to take the necessary steps to regularize your tenure while ensuring that fairness is given to the landowners. And I will be working closely with these agencies to ensure that you will no longer be called squatters, but you are going to be called owners. And I know that there are people like Freddie in Lapuette, Miss Cece, Labas, Miss Unesta, Pepet, and Virgie in Volet, and the men and women in New Extension who will welcome this policy. This will bring us one step closer to attaining economic freedom in Mikud North. Mr. Speaker, I will say that gouvernement mette bagay en weg, mette bagay en place, by moun qui ka occupé terre gouvernement. La ni chay moun tout partout li on set ici, yo ka wete a sous terre gouvernement, a de ces moun sa ka wete là pour toute l'année, 15 l'année. La ni moun ka wete là en mopo nous nan famille qui a sous terre gouvernement pour en haut en 100 l'année et puis yo ka payer l'oreille tous les mois pour en haut en 100 l'année et puis c'est moun sa là qui a occupé terre gouvernement. Et puis nous savons ça en terre ça fait by la famille, ça fait by un jeune homme qui voulait aller à l'école, ça fait by un maman qui voulait mettre un chou à soukaili. Et puis nous ka dit nous mettez bagay nous dans policy un place pour that monde qui a soutenu le gouvernement pour tout l'année après le gouvernement qui a dit that nous ou hala nous kay ba ou chote ça là nous kay du chote ça ou pas kay calete gouvernement comme mais chote ça kay ça ou chote ça ou kay ça point papier tel et puis kay ça de buckler et puis kay ça point un mortgage pour mettre un choix sur caillou chote ça ou kay ça de buckler et puis ça mettre là et puis ça vrai issue à l'école et puis nous ka fait ça pour ouais that monde cette ici ça joindre notre chose cette ici et que ça créer ça yo ça nous ouais l'autre side là les l'autre gouvernement est là les yo prêter gouvernement nous ça yo fait avec gouvernement yo prêter gouvernement yo bay monde qui sort l'autre pays pour $1 par acte et puis là ni monde cette ici qui passe à côté yo kay rester et puis top jour cordia nous still ni problème et puis même développement ça là et puis terre ça là juste là ka acide là et puis rien pas qu'à faire et puis so nous voulons dire Jean cette ici qui a été à soutenir le gouvernement pour un autre toute l'année that nous kay bay zo choter ça là so c'est moun qui a volette là ben monsieur C monsieur Nesta Miss Aiza toutes ces gens volettes là qui a été à soutenir le gouvernement tant kay arrivé ko ou kay ça choter ça ou kay ça ni dit non et puis ou kay ça quitter by famille ou kay ça quitter by issue et ou ça aller buckler et puis choter et c'est moun qui tout massé parce que c'est ça là c'est pas tes gouvernement ou ka été à soutenir ou ka créer tout massé estate gouvernement kay mettre bagay en weg pour that nous vini et puis a bay ministre qui ni responsabilité pour kay et puis gouvernement local a bay yo premier ministre a bay yo directive pour that yo aller puis yo faire ça qui nécessaire pour nous ça prendre ces terres ça là nous kay payer c'est mettre ça pour ces terres nous kay couper ça on fait créer subdivide et puis nous kay bay ces moun ka été à c'était ça choter ça pour koyo et puis toutes ces bagages ça nous ka faire c'est pour that gens cette ici ça joindre notre chose cette ici pour koyo et puis nous croire that you deserve a chose cette ici pour koyo et puis nous ka mettre bay un match pour that tout gens cette ici ça ni un choter mais moi je veux dire aussi that ça c'est pas invitation pour ou qui pas ou qui ni autre choter pour courir à rester le choter gouvernement et dit parce que gouvernement ka bay monter gouvernement that après ou entitled point c'est pas ça nous ka di monde mais nous ka di monde qui a là ou en famille là ou a établi là that nous ka mettre bagay place ba ou so ça hen choter ça là Mr. Speaker, another avenue of empowerment is through our community tourism initiative. This sector has long been our main economic driver, yet our people have been left behind. And you've heard the minister said on numerous occasions that we need to see greater participation of locals within the tourism industry. We need to see our people working and becoming owners, but not working necessarily as servers and support staff. We believe in St. Lucian owners and not just St. Lucian workers. And through this initiative, I've watched Alvin flourish with his ATV experience stores in Mikud, and Marva saw with kayak on the bay in Pralin. Mr. Speaker, the government's philosophical position is that it must create opportunities for wealth enhancement and creation of generational wealth, so that each generation can be better off than the previous one. Marva's young son, Lucas, is probably 6 now, Mr. Speaker. He is already positioned because of the community tourism initiative. He's already well positioned for future success. And that is what we mean by generational wealth. That is generational wealth in motion. Mr. Speaker, let me just illustrate to you quickly how this Prime Minister trusts his people and how we are not like them. You remember, Mr. Speaker, when there was a conversation about the laptop program under the previous administration? And then, I won't say Kika and Kesa, but remember the laptop program was discontinued for one reason and another, and then they were replaced by some e-books, and we had the responsibility to pay exorbitant licensing fees to some agency. I'm not sure if it's foreign or local. But the government, this government, trusts the ability and competence of its people. And what we did, not only did we reinstate the laptop program, Mr. Speaker.
Member from Mico South. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. On a point of order, the member is misleading the House.
In what way?
The member is indicating that he paid an exorbitant license fee for the laptop. If I recollect, Mr. Speaker, the license fee was being paid for by the government. So I don't know where the member is getting this information from, whether he, first of all, paid it, but there's an absolute untruth that any person in St. Lucia was asked to pay for the license fee.
He didn't say that.
That's what he said. That's what he said. What did he say, Mr. Speaker? So I can be corrected.
We as in the government.
We as the government?
Yeah, that's what he's saying, we as a government.
So as long as we understand that, no, it's very good.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, again, I will say, Mr. Speaker, again, I will say that this government and this administration trust the ability and the competence of its local people. And what we did was not only did we reinstate the laptop program, but we trust St. Lucians to create the educational content for these programs. Mr. Speaker, when it came to the audit at St. Jude's, we didn't outsource consultants at any high cost. We trusted the locals at no cost to the state, Mr. Speaker, to conduct the audit for St. Jude's. Another glaring example of the trust that we place in the professionals here in St. Lucia, Mr. Speaker. The budget preparation, Mr. Speaker. No expensive foreign consultants. We put our faith in the Ministry of Finance and the staff of the Ministry of Finance and the Budget Department. Mr. Speaker, while others insulted our medical professionals, you know what the Prime Minister did? Whilst others said that when the time comes for them to seek medical attention, that they take a plane and they go overseas for fear that they may be administered with the wrong medication because they have no trust in our local professionals, Mr. Speaker. You know what the Prime Minister did? The Prime Minister praised our healthcare professionals. He created scholarship incentives for aspiring nurses, Mr. Speaker. And he created an environment that is more conducive for the people within the medical fraternity. Mr. Speaker, we are not like them, and we will never be like them. We believe in the power, the resilience, and the brilliance of our people. And you know, Mr. Speaker, they may look down on Jeremiah's mother because she's not from a prominent family. Or even Kenson's mother, Mr. Speaker, because she's just a little lady in Grosile. She has no big business. She has no big name as a businesswoman. But we, Mr. Speaker, under Prime Minister Pierre, believe that greatness can come from absolutely anywhere. It does not have to stem from a big name or from a big company. And whilst the opposition waits for the Prime Minister to fail, you know what he does? He continues to grow this economy year after year after year, proving them wrong and proving St. Lucians right. Proving St. Lucians right by the choice that they made on July 26, 2021. Under his watch, unemployment has dropped to 10.6% in 2024 and has reached single digits in the first quarter of this year, the lowest on record. And that, Mr. Speaker, is why I can say without hesitation that we are not like them and we will never be like them. Right. Mr. Speaker, I now turn my attention to the ministry which I have the honor to lead, the Ministry of Home Affairs, Crime Prevention, and Persons with Disabilities. Mr. Speaker, this is no ordinary ministry. It is one that touches the very fabric of our society, and it demands careful, compassionate, and decisive leadership. It is both sensitive and critical, and I embrace the responsibility with utmost seriousness. I will begin with the Department of Home Affairs, Mr. Speaker, under which we have several key agencies like the Borderley Correctional Facility, the St. Lucia Fire Service, the Citizenship Unit, and the Department of Probation and Parole. under the St. Lucia Fire Service, Mr. Speaker, we have taken decisive steps to modernize and strengthen the St. Lucia Fire Service. And any member of the St. Lucia Fire Service will tell you, Mr. Speaker, that never in the history of the St. Lucia Fire Service have they received even a fraction of the assistance that they have received under this current administration. This current administration has ensured that we have put everything in place for the men and women of the St. Lucia Fire Service. Only a few weeks ago, Cabinet approved proposed amendments to the Fire Service Act. And these amendments aim to bring the legislation in line with the current challenges faced daily by the brave men and women of the St. Lucia Fire Service. A major development on the horizon is the construction of a new fire service headquarters. Mr. Speaker, a steering committee has been appointed to oversee the planning, design, and implementation of this vital project. We have visited 2 preliminary sites, and site evaluations are already underway. Mr. Speaker, this investment complements the ongoing work supported by the Caribbean Development Bank to enhance the resilience for emergency services. This is not just an infrastructural project, it is a recognition of the pivotal role emergency services play in our island's sustainable development. One of the long-standing challenges, Mr. Speaker, has been emergency response times along the West Coast. Ideally, it should take emergency personnel somewhere within the region of 7 to 10 minutes to respond to a scene. In reality, we see response times ranging from 30 minutes, sometimes over an hour, a delay that can actually cost lives. Mr. Speaker, there is currently no fire station between Castries and Soufrière, and this puts immense strain on our firefighters. However, I am pleased to announce that we have taken the firm decision to begin work on the West Coast Fire Substation, which will serve ancillary canneries and surrounding areas. This station, Mr. Speaker, will dramatically reduce emergency response times and will bring the much-needed relief to the West Coast. Additionally, a new cohort of firefighters will soon graduate, increasing our manpower and capacity. And I wish to thank the men and women of the St. Lucia Fire Service for their tireless dedication and their service to our nation. Mr. Speaker, I now move to the Borderley Correctional Facility. Mr. Speaker, the Borderley Correctional Facility currently houses in excess of 550 inmates. And the sad reality is that the majority of these inmates are young males. And we recognize the urgent need to place greater emphasis on rehabilitation. A particular promising initiative was the Community Reintegration Program, and this was funded by the US aid. And this program had already begun showing positive results before it was unfortunately halted due to a stop work order earlier this year. Mr. Speaker, currently, we are actively exploring alternative financing to revive and continue this initiative. Rehabilitation cannot be taken as a token phrase. It must be a core pillar of our correctional philosophy. We are also in the process of reviewing the Correctional Service Act and the attendant prisons policy, with the aim of bringing them in line with modern standards and realities. At the Borderley Correctional Facility, there has been a sharp focus on the promotion of commercialized inmate employment, providing prisoners with real-world skills that will ease their reintegration into society upon release. We are also working closely with the clinical social worker, Ms. Melissa Dupré-Rosary, to review the current induction process, Mr. Speaker, as we realize that there is a gap in what currently obtains, or what currently exists. Let us not forget, Mr. Speaker, that a significant portion of these 500 plus individuals whom I mentioned are currently on remand. And this reflects a serious backlog within our justice system. And the Prime Minister has taken a bold policy stance to introduce a swift justice system, Although, Mr. Speaker, we have not seen, the system has not lived up to the first part of the word, which is swift. It has taken up some time. However, we are almost in a position where we are going to see tangible results coming out of this particular policy. We are in a position to move with this particular policy. And this is designed to address the delays and improve the speed at which justice is served. Work has already commenced, as you would have heard in the Prime Minister's budget address on the halls of justice. And the vision is to create a space where justice can be timely and effectively delivered. Mr. Speaker, nous avons une situation, mais quand il parler about fire service là avec des ID un petit mot parole là sur borderly. Fire service là qu'a tombé bas ministry mais. Gouvernement ça là c'est gouvernement qui a metté plus l'argent en des affaires fire service histoire cette ici. La parmi pièce gouvernement qui a fait ça gouvernement ça là, j'ai fait by pompier cette ici. Nous a metté bagay en règle, nous a bay ces gens ces pompiers, nous a bay yo ambulance pour faire travail yo, nous a bay yo équipement neuf, nous a bay yo nous a voué yo I train apprendre bagay neuf et puis ça nous a fait nous ouais dat l'année problème misitan et qu'après pour pompier aller à sous un signe accident et bien un signe de feu parce qu'elle a pas ni pièce fire station là où quitté Castru et puis un mi-temps Castru et puis Soufouye. So ça qu'a mettre c'est pompiers à bas high pressure les uni pour attendre pour un signe accident. Normalement ici posé point c'est pompiers 7 pour 10 minutes pour arriver à sous signe. C'est à dire ça là yo ça fait pli by un monde qui encore yo à dire accident. À présent because of manière bagay là et because la pani pièce fire station en mi-temps Soufouye puis Castru et qu'après fire service là délai en haut en éditeur délai 10 minutes éditeur pour arriver koyoni pour aller et puis partant ça là un chay bagay a fait ça nous fait pour nous ranger problème ça c'est nous a mettre nous ca faire un fire station neuf en mi-temps Aslawi et puis Kanawi et puis ça ca mettre ça ca fait une situation que ces pompiers ça répondre plus fast by l'année accident et bien si l'année diffé pièce côté de c'est place ça là là nous venons sur borderly Mr. Speaker nous avons une situation que borderly nous ca mettre plus emphasis et nous ca prendre plus temps pour deal et puis ça nous ca créer réhabilitation que nous ca regarder qui manière nous ça aider monde qui hen ko yo de prison aider yo pour yo vivre ranger les affaires yo ba yo assistance là yo besoin ba yo training là yo besoin voyer yo travail wa sur de prison et puis les yo quitter prison et puis yo aller les quitter prison et les quitter prison et puis yo aller dehors yo ka sa vie et encore yo de la société et yo ka sa vivre normal et bien vivre la vie normale comme tout l'autre monde et puis nous voulons dire cette lycéen date yo pas ni pour juger monde qui sorti nous ni pour bailler monde une deuxième chance ou pas ni pour juger monde et bien jeter à sous monde qui a aller prison si nous continuer quitter ça là et nous ca ouais monde qui sort prison ca vivre en prison chaque clair parce que nous pas ca embrasser nous pas ca dire date ou pas ni pour regarder mais ou pas ça courir derrière yo les nous venir nous voulons société que les monde sorti nous ça assister monde parce que n'importe monde ça fait faux pas et puis yo ça encore yo en de prison et nous voulons dire monde nous ca aider ces monde ça là nous ca mettre plus focus à sur aider ces monde ça ouais sur prison by assistance sur prison so that les yo sorti dehors yo ca sa vie établi ko yo en de société. Mr. Speaker, I now move to the citizenship unit and recognize the value and pride of St. Lucian citizenship, especially in the wake of our international successes such as those achieved by Julian Alfred and by J.D. Emmanuel. We have extended citizenship, Mr. Speaker, to second-generation St. Lucians, and we are well on our way to digitizing the application process. Furthermore, we intend to transition the current policy on residency into a formal legislative framework removing all ambiguity and enhancing transparency. Mr. Speaker, I now address an especially heartfelt component of my ministry, persons with disabilities. I wish to express my deep appreciation to the National Council of and for Persons with Disability, the Blind Welfare Associations, and all the other stakeholders who continue to champion this cause. This government is committed to the economic empowerment and inclusion of persons with disabilities, and that's why we have established a dedicated disability unit within the ministry. This unit, Mr. Speaker, will advocate for disability-specific legislation, review existing frameworks like the Building Code, and launch a national public awareness campaign. We aim to make St. Lucia more accessible, more inclusive, and more just, moving steadily towards globally recognized disability standards. Now, Mr. Speaker, on the matter of crime prevention. Crime is not static. And as much as they play political games with it, Mr. Speaker, crime is dynamic, it is multifaceted, and it requires a nuanced response. It cannot be treated like a balance sheet. It must be addressed from every angle with a coordinated strategy. And to that end, our ministry is working closely with the Royal St. Lucia Police Force, the Ministry of Equity, the St. Lucia Social Development Fund, the SSDF, the Department of Education, NGOs, because only, and we accept that only a whole of society approach will yield meaningful reductions in crime. We are providing strategic coordination to avoid duplication and to maximize impact. The Ministry of Education will speak to their own efforts, Mr. Speaker, including the hiring of clinical counselors and attendance officers, efforts we support wholeheartedly. We are also supporting after-school programs and the establishment of a juvenile center in collaboration with the Ministry of Equity. On the operational side, we've bolstered the police capacity with over 70 new vehicles. We've repaired the Viewfort Police Station, and we are well on the way to completing the construction of the new Northern Divisional Headquarters in Grosley. We've increased the number of officers, and we have ensured that the Commissioner of Police has the autonomy to run the force effectively. Mr. Speaker, we've also seen several promotions happening within the Royal St. Lucia Police Force, and I'm happy to be representing the constituency of Micoud North, as I know that we have several people within the constituency, hard-working police officers who have been promoted recently. Also working closely with SLASPA, Customs, the Marine Unit, and our international partners, Mr. Speaker, to ensure that we can enhance security at our ports of entry. It is no secret, Mr. Speaker, that St. Lucia does not manufacture firearms, yet they continue to infiltrate our borders, and we are committed to intercepting and eliminating this threat. Finally, the Department of Probation and Parole continues to play a crucial role in reviewing parole applications and supporting reintegration. We will soon be establishing the Crime Prevention Unit within the ministry, complete with a dedicated research officer to ensure that our strategies are data-driven and impactful. Mr. Speaker, this ministry carries an enormous responsibility, but with the targeted investment, cross-sector collaboration, and an unwavering commitment to people-centered governments, we are confident that we are on the right path. Now let me begin by highlighting, Mr. Speaker, let me just highlight an important policy decision that affects every St. Lucian: the return to the 10-year passport. Mr. Speaker, prior to 2006, our passports were valid for 10 years. But due to issues of fraud and tampering, that period was reduced. Today, with the implementation of machine-readable passports, which are far more secure, we are now in a position to restore the 10-year validity. And Mr. Speaker,
Remember, you have 15 minutes left.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I must emphasize that this upgrade will come at absolutely no cost to the public. The upgrade will come at no additional cost to the public and to the people of St. Lucia. And I know, Mr. Speaker, that the opposition may now want to claim this idea, but we've grown accustomed to the chorus of the hooders, the shooters, and the cooters. And this government is about action, this government is about delivering, and that is exactly what we are doing in relation to the 10-year passport. Mr. Speaker, this budget leaves no one behind. Whether you are a farmer, a teacher, youth, a senior citizen, there is something in it for you. And if we look at agriculture, in Micoud North, agriculture remains the lifeblood of our economy. And I'm pleased to report, and we heard it from the Minister, that we have seen a 9.4% increase in non-banana crop production. And this is because of the work of persons like Bolo, like Bogles, Mr. Louis, who have successfully transitioned from bananas to dashing. In fact, Micoud North is preparing to harvest several tons of dashing, Mr. Speaker. And I urge the ministry to assist us in collaboration with the Ministry of Commerce through Export St. Lucia. I urge that the ministry can collaborate and assist these farmers in sourcing markets for this dashing. Mr. Speaker, I must thank the Minister of Agriculture for the provision of water tanks, for the provision of fertilizer, the lime, the oil, and even the emergency financial support during difficult times. These interventions are truly making a difference in Micoud North. I've seen firsthand the importance of having a water tank on a farm. Only yesterday, I visited 2 farms in Trumasi, where the farmers had difficulties in accessing water, Mr. Speaker. And I know that it will definitely contribute to an increase in yield had these farmers had access to water tanks. So I commend the Minister of Agriculture for his work and for what he has done for the people of Micoud North. I also thank him for the work that he has done in fisheries in Micoud North as well. As you have heard earlier, we are currently working on the building to house the ice machine that was procured through the UBEC program. And we had several of our young fishermen who were trained in the Boat Masters program. So right now we've been able to build capacity as it relates to young captains in the constituency of Micoud North. Turning to education, I'm deeply grateful to the Minister of Education. Under our infrastructure development policy, we have completed the Passios Early Childhood Development Center, which will be officially opened shortly. We have also seen upgrades to the Passios Monipo. Well, we are hoping to see upgrades to the Passios Monipo combined school grounds in very short order, as well as the repairs. We are very thankful to the repairs to the Micoud Primary School, the Micoud Secondary School, and the Micoud Early Childhood Center. In the area of youth and sports, we are making great strides. And you would have seen Keon Castor in his debut, Mr. Speaker, when he took 6 wickets. Stellar performer, and right now we are really missing him as the Monipo Pioneers. And you could have seen what happened. Sadly, Chozel was defeated us at the last game that we played, but I know that we will come back and we will prevail. But I want to thank the Minister for Youth and Sports, because we now have lights at the Wen playing field. The resurfacing works are nearing completion, and a new washroom facility is well underway for the Wen playing field. In addition, rehabilitation works are planned for the Micoud and Passios courts, and we are investing in our youth and creating safer, healthier communities for the young people of Micoud North. On the road infrastructure, another area of significant investment, works have commenced on the Lapwet Road, and we are moving towards the rehabilitation of the much spoken about St. Mary Road and the Vollet Road. So, Speaker, these improvements are not just about convenience, but they're about improving access, because I truly understand the plight of those persons who have to traverse that road, who have to travel on these roads and endure the conditions on a daily basis. So, Speaker, water access has long been a challenge for parts of Micoud North, but this government is delivering solutions. The Passios Water Supply Improvement Project is on the way. It is no longer just being spoken about, but physical works has commenced, and we're hoping hopefully sometime towards the end of this year or early next year, to see the completion of this project. And this represents our commitment to providing safe and reliable water for everyone and for every home. This government is also creating opportunities for enterprise and cultural expression. And I'm proud to announce, Mr. Speaker, that this Sunday we will host the inaugural Jazz en Viège at Point Viège in Mikoud, Mr. Speaker. And this exciting cultural event is made possible through the support and vision of this administration and through the assistance of the Ministry of Tourism. And I want to thank the organizing committee, individuals like Louise, Rita, Elsa, Larry, Teacher Ruby, and all the other persons involved. Denise, I want to thank them for Marlon and Diane for their hard work, for their commitment, and for seeing this Miku dream become a reality. Before I conclude, I must commend the Prime Minister for his compassionate and progressive leadership. The decision to make workers permanent after 2 years of service is life-changing, Mr. Speaker. Cooks like my mother, Miss Ann Seri at the Miku Primary School, Miss Leah, our council workers, and many others can now sleep peacefully knowing that their hard work and loyalty are finally recognized. And to those in the protective services, being able to access their pensions at age 55 after 20 years of service is a just reward for their sacrifice and dedication. And I say that with the utmost sincerity, Mr. Speaker, because I served 10 years within the service. And during that 10 years, Mr. Speaker, I can speak firsthand about the challenges and the difficulties, the strain that comes with this position. And I think it is only just that we made this adjustment for the men and women of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force, of the St. Lucia Fire Service, and for the men and women of the Bodley Correctional Facility. Mr. Speaker, the people of Micoud North have placed their trust in me, and I will continue to work every day to earn it. I thank them for their unwavering support. I thank the staff of the ministry, thank my constituency office, my cabinet colleagues. I thank the men and women of the Micoud North Constituency Council, and most of all, I thank the Prime Minister for his steadfast leadership. And I close with a verse which says, "Let us not become weary in doing good. For the proper time, we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." We will not give up, Mr. Speaker, and our harvest is near. And with God's grace, Micoud North, the St. Lucia Labour Party, and St. Lucia will continue to rise. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.